Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootlickers, also dustly, stars, peasants, vassals, minions. I'm a useful idiot, and today I want to talk about the NSA and Edward Snowden and his recent editorial. And this is going to be an editorial itself. And so Edward Snowden has come out and said that he hopes he's going to make a better world by his exposure of all this material, and that hopefully something will change and maybe some of the spying will stop. That sort of dream. And well, I gotta say, got some bad news for you. The NSA is here to stay, but I'll get into that later. First, let me talk a little bit more about Edward Snowden. And I've had a lot of mixed feelings about Edward Snowden ever since this affair first broke, because a lot of interesting questions about how someone at his level, and certainly a private contractor, can have access to this amount of sensitive material. And not to mention the fact that all these stories and all this material, a lot of it's already been known for quite some time. Edward Snowden has just provided a lot of details and a lot of material all at once, but certainly a lot of the surveillance was exposed during the church hearings back in the 70s, and a lot of things have come to light ever since then. But so anyway, there's that mix of material, and now there's the announcement that after releasing something like 1% of the material, they're talking about not releasing any other material, and I find that rather curious as well. It seems like the most good would be done by releasing all the material, maybe even all at once. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So anyway, there's that. And then the fact that it seems to me that the motive behind this, let's suggest for a moment that there is a collaboration between the NSA and Edward Snowden, and what would be their goal. And to me, the goal is, as has been discussed by other pundits as well, including civil evidence, is that the government, the United States, wants to announce to the world that everyone is being spied on. And this is an easy way to do it without having to just come out and say it. They have to have a fall guy, maybe a stooge, a patsy, to expose this and basically let everyone know that everything you say and do is being watched. And this is the state of the world that we live in. So anyway, that's why this could be happening, and anecdotal evidence seems to show that people are self-censoring themselves now as a result of all this. And then there will be the inevitable new industries created to counter the NSA spying, and that will create a huge industry in itself. But of course, the NSA will continue to develop material to counter any efforts to counter them. So that's the way it will go. So, and then lastly, I wanted to say about Edward Snowden, certainly this new presentation of his reveals a certain naivete, and to think that what he has done is going to change anything. And also the terms that he couches things in, sometimes it's almost too perfect, as if it was scripted. And that's another thing that makes me a little suspicious about Edward Snowden. And I just want to say that I want to believe that Edward Snowden is everything he says he is. There's just a lot of things about it that smell kind of funny, so I'm just voicing my opinion, and I don't necessarily want to stir up any conspiratorial aura around this event to distract from what it is. And so let me get to the other bottom line, and that other bottom line is, yeah, sorry Edward Snowden, and sorry everyone else, the NSA is here to stay. In spite of all the congressional hearings, we've had congressional hearings, as I referred to earlier, the church hearings back in the 70s, where all this spying was brought out into the public, and all this material keeps being brought out into the public view for the last 20 or 30 years, and everything goes back to normal, and it continues to expand. And they're not going to cut back on the gigantic Utah data center. They're not going to cut back on all their spying. on international cables. They're not going to cut back on all their collaboration with the technological corporations. This is all here to stay. It doesn't matter that congressmen are protesting. It doesn't matter that governments around the world are expressing their feigned outrage. There's no reason for any of them to act this way when everyone has known this all along. Everyone has known about this, certainly in the governments, and they have no reason to act like they don't. So the NSA is here to stay, and not only is the NSA here to stay, it will continue to expand, and along with that will be the black prison sites around the globe, the Guantanamo, the Abu Ghraibs, the CIA rendition sites that will continue. The surveillance will continue and expand, and torture will continue around the globe in the name of the United States. That's just how it is. And the surveillance state is fully in place. It is massive, and it will continue to grow. So I don't mean to be too cynical. I don't mean to be a negative Nelly or a worrywart. But yeah, that's just how it is. The NSA is here to stay, and any speculation otherwise is fruitless. The government does not change its policies; merely hires a new PR firm to rebrand it and remarket it. I'm a useful idiot. Don't you be one too.